let's cut straight across to the Bharat Mandapam. That's all decked up for the G20 Summit. As it finishes, you have Prime Minister Narendra Modi all set to join the media, local and international, to address a brief address that he's expected to give there to maybe thank the media the world over for arriving into Delhi to be part of this summit and extensively covered it. These are visuals of the Bharat Mandapam that we're bringing to you live. Let me quickly cut across to Paulami Saha, who's been relentlessly bringing us every update, every news, every angle from that very Bharat Mandapam as Prime Minister Narendra Modi is all set to arrive there. Paulami, over to you. A quick word. What's expected? Prime Minister Modi is set to arrive at the Bharat Mandapam. Is he going to be speaking? Is there going to be a press conference or a solo note as a conclusion to this G20 summit? What do we know?
Well, all that we know is that in about at least 15 minutes from now, we're expecting the Prime Minister to arrive over here at the International Media Centre in the Bharat Mandapam complex where we're standing right now. The media basically has been clustered in this very space over the last 3 days. The first day, of course, was the pre-summit briefing and certain pre-summit events. And over the last couple of days for the G20 summit. And as you can see, there's a cordon over here. The media is all behind this cordon, which has been placed after, of course, sanitizing the area. The sniffer dogs were here as well to check the area, ensure that it's all safe and secure, because the Prime Minister is expected to be here in a short while from now. This, if you may, is the grand finale as far as the G20 summit is concerned. Of course, it concluded earlier in the day with India handing over presidency of the G20 to Brazil. But the Prime Minister, of course, continued to have a bunch of bilateral meetings, a working lunch with French President Emmanuel Macron, a pull aside with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, and then a bunch of bilateral meetings, like I said, with the Turkish President, with the South Korean President, with the Brazilian President, as well as with the President of the European Union and the Chief of the European Commission as well. All of these meetings, after that, the Prime Minister is now expected to reach here. He's also expected to visit the Crafts Bazaar, which is basically an exhibition come sale which has been put up just next door to the International Media Centre, where delegates, officials, media personnel who were present over here from the world over could go and admire the arts and culture, the heritage, the handloom, the textiles from various states of India, and even purchase it. So after he's been there, he's had a look over there as to what was put on display. He's expected to come down here to the ground floor. Remember that this was spread over 2 floors, the International Media Centre. He's going to come here and he's likely to acknowledge, of course, the support and thank all the international media and the national media, of course, that has been here over the past couple of days covering the G20 Summit 2023.
It's been quite an exciting finish, undoubtedly, but it's still not over. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to arrive at the Bharat Mandapam. You can expect very well for the next hour to be action-packed. Moshmi joins us live as well. Moshmi, you've been there for the last 2 days, and the kind of action, the vibe that you got at the Bharat Mandapam finally all ended. And on a good note, as India has achieved consensus from all of these countries, 20-odd state heads who had arrived and gave consensus to the most pressing issues, including the Ukraine-Russia war and climate change. So it's a success for India. And now with Prime Minister Modi arriving at the media centre, what's likely to happen in the next hour?
Absolutely, Nabila, we just heard Paulami pack all that information, and all credit to her for sending numerous dozens and hundreds of flashes throughout the day, and she's just got it right as far as, the Prime Minister's visit to the International Media Centre is concerned. But the question that you really asked, it is a mega diplomatic win-win situation for India as far as this presidency is concerned, with the theme of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The Prime Minister, on behalf of India, has been able to bring to the table the message of one earth, one family, one future, and thereby underline the spiritual strength of India. But let me take you through what's the scene that's unfolding at the ground floor of the media centre. I just asked my camera person Sachin Chandok to do this camera movement for you to just show you dozens of cameras queuing up to get the first glimpse of the Prime Minister when he enters the media center on this side. And Sachin will give you a 360-degree view of the entire big hall, on two floors. Similar halls on the second floor is also there. You can spot Polemy far away. And of course, you know, there is the international press is there, the national media is there. And this is actually a culmination of the entire event as it unfolds. Aishwarya is right here. Let's just take a quick reaction from her. Aishwarya, how do you see this unfolding? When is the Prime Minister expected?
See, we are expecting the Prime Minister, Mosby, in say about almost half an hour from now. The, security arrangements, as you can see, are just top notch. In fact, not just one. They have put 2 layers of barricades right here, wanting to make sure that people do not jump over and do not, try to.
They're zeroing in
They're
on
zeroing on where
we are standing. Nabila, you can see this.
The second layers that have been put up.
In fact, it's the entire cordon that's being doubled up. Several times, the administration in charges here have Aishwarya come in and said you can't
You can't move, crown cannot. And the people who are moving, from what we are expecting is that the moment Prime Minister will step foot in this hall, we will see the security tightening around, because the idea is to make sure that no one, though I think, some of the people might even try to get a reaction from the Prime Minister, but that's something that they will make sure does not happen, and that's the reason why we are seeing such tight security. But in about half an hour.
And high security was expected because it's, first of all, the Modi government holding this G20 meeting, and we know of we know of Modi's style, we know of the government style indeed. They're watertight when it comes to security, be it any platform. And this is the G20 summit that India has held presidency for a year. It's a matter of immense pride that India has managed to host this summit in the home country in Delhi. So there's no room for error. Absolutely no loophole will be tolerated. And that's precisely why we see that immense security. I wasn't able to get my accreditation done. Highly unfortunate. And I couldn't use any influence or pull. Abhishek Balla is also joining me live for more on that. Abhishek, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to be visiting the media center. Is there going to be a speech by the Prime Minister? Is it going to be a question and answer round? Is it an interaction? We're still a little confused on what exactly is going to transpire in the next 1 hour. Do you know?
Well, not likely that there will be any interaction, but what I can tell you from the kind of arrangements that have been made, Nabila, that the Prime Minister is expected to walk the aisle, and there is a double cordon. We are behind these 2 cordons, and on the other side, it's just security personnel, the staff, the volunteers who've been participating and who've made sure that this has been an extremely well organized and smooth function. And a little while earlier, this place resembled something else. We can also see security personnel in the background there, sniffer dogs, just last minute checks being done, because this is the area from where we were functioning. It resembled more like an international big newsroom where you had hundreds of journalists, not just from Delhi but across the country, several parts of the world, all of them working. It just resembled a huge newsroom, and this is where many of us journalists were working from, and this is the look that you can get now. Everybody waiting, not sure what exactly is going to happen. There has been a bit of an excitement because this was the fag end of the G20 summit. Probably everybody was thinking that they'll wind up and make a move, and then came the information that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to be here at around 6 p.m. He'll first visit the Crafts Bazaar. The Crafts Bazaar was first emptied. A lot of activity took place there, and a little while later we saw this entire place being spruced up. So that's the scene from the media center here at the G20 summit in the Bharat Mandapam. If at all the Prime Minister comes, that will be the place, that will be the big door that he's likely to enter from. And
is it a packed house, Abhishek Balla? Would we know if the media center is a packed house? We know international journalists.
I'll give you another view. I'll give you I'll give you another view, Nabila, of what the media center looks like. These are the visuals. So what was what was a place for us journalists to be working from a little while earlier, people filing their stories, sending in last bits of information. Now it's turned into a gallery of sorts, and a viewing gallery where suddenly all journalists will get a glimpse of the Prime Minister walking the aisle. When that happens, a lot of excitement. There are people who want to present a G20 sort of digest to the Prime Minister. You've come from Canada, right, sir?
I have indeed, and the opening article is by Prime Minister Modi himself as the host of the summit. So we think you'll want to see.
What's this magazine about?
It's the background book we produce for every summit since the first in Washington, D.C. in 2009. It opens with articles by all the leaders saying what they want at the summit, the heads of the world's major international organizations, and articles on the actual performance of G20 summits on the various key issues.
You're hoping to present this this digest to the Prime Minister. You're right in the front. Probably you'll get an opportunity. You can try your luck. All the best.
Yeah, we had
so that's the kind of mood somebody wants to present their work to the Prime Minister, and the others of course would want to get a glimpse of the Prime Minister. He'll probably come around, say a hello and a thank you to several journalists who've come from all across the world.